Yo, what's up, guys? Back with week two. Oh my God, that's crazy. Um, this week was really good. There were a lot of great games. I hope you saw a few of them either on the Twitch or there were a few that were posted on the YouTube a little later. I thought we would start off with a little small announcement. So after the season's over, I'm most likely going to be stepping down from not owner. I'm still going to run the league, but I'm no longer going to be doing the stats show, so you won't get to hear my voice in the stats show anymore. I know you guys love hearing my voice. Huh? Yeah, I mean that's unfortunate. But I this was a choice that I feel like I had to make. It's just something that I've been discussing with myself over the past. And yeah, I mean, I feel like this is the best thing for the league. Not I'm not like gonna leave the server. I'm not gonna transfer ownership or anything like that. But I'm just no longer gonna be doing the stats show, because I'm gonna be taking more of a logistical role in the league. There's logistical aspects that I've been running, but on top of that, I run the frontline aspects of the league. What I mean by all this is basically I am going to be moving to more of a standpoint of sort of running the league as like sort of what Jet's doing basically. So running the league from behind the scenes, making sure that things get done when they should, making sure that schedules are made, making sure that games are getting played, making sure that there's staff available during games, stuff like that is just crucial to the way that the league runs. There's so much stuff that Shell League does to make the league run behind the scenes, and I think that that's sort of what the focus needs to be now that the Tide is really just, it's getting a lot bigger. There's gonna be probably four or five more of these. There's 6 weeks this season. This is gonna be how we're gonna do it throughout the rest of Tide League's time. But yeah, I mean, I plan to have Tide League up and running until I either have to leave, and then I'd have to transfer ownership to somebody else, or I'd have to just give it up because it's dead. But I'm gonna keep doing my best to really get it started. But I've been rambling a little bit, but more on that a little later. If you want to hear more, you can just DM me and ask me some other reasons of why I'm gonna be a little more inactive starting the end of season 3. But yeah, let's just get right into it. So starting off, we have, as usual, we start off with the Boyle division. EXP got another win. This time, a huge win over Ares. Their Ares streak. This streak was broken. After such a long time, it's finally done. Ares had a 21-0 streak. A 21-0 streak. Like, that is insane. I mean, they joined in the middle of season 1, and then they just started destroying. They won season 1, they won season 2. Well, it was actually a different named team, but it's beyond the point. It was renamed. And then ROD, we had a tough loss from them. They played A2M. A2M is playing great. Their stats are great. Their players are great. But yeah, Rod lost that game. Sucks for them. I'm sure they'll come back next week. Ace, they got a pretty good win. Unsurprising. They got a win over TL. So that's fun. And then WQRE also got a win. So everybody in the division actually does have a win, which is it's really good for the division. So it's a really fierce, competitive division. Moving on over to the other division in the Old Conference, we have EXL. They won another game. This time, I believe it was against NL. It was a very intense. It went to six rounds, but EXL came out 4-2. BLZ, next team, they are also on an intense winning streak. They broke BBUC's pretty good record BBUC had a tough time trying to make a drive in the playoffs. They got knocked out in the first round, and we're hoping to see some more from them this season. But, what happens, happens. SUS finally got a win. They got a win in a VSL mid-match forfeit. VSL had to sub out. SUS got the 4-2 win. Pony, sadly, they've got a tough schedule. I mean, they had to play DX, and more about DX a little later, but they had to play them this week, and then they had to play EXL last week, so it was just tough for them, so they're 0-2. Moving on over to the Shell Conference. This is arguably one of the most intense, most competitive divisions, even more competitive than Boiled. NL is somehow number one, based off of stats, of course, but they are sitting at 1-1. BBC, they had a tough loss, but I'm sure they're going to come back. By the way, it was against BLZ. There's a little bit some issues with that game. There's some allegations, so it's all being sorted out, but don't worry. And then DX, new team. It's possibly getting changed to DXG. I'm not entirely certain of that. I think the actual DXG people have to agree on that, but I'd rather it not, because there's just no point. That's the new team to beat. That seems to be the new Aries. Aries has turned into just a roster with pub stomping teams, or pub stomping kids who asked for Aries and begged for Aries role back in the day. So I mean, it's so funny. But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying there's no hope for Aries. I'm just saying it's not looking great. And then VSL, they had another loss, so they're 0-2. A2M moving on over to the Boach division. Oh my god, A2M is on fire. They are 2-0, coming in on fire after getting knocked out early. Or actually, I don't even think they made it to the playoffs. They were just barely in third place for their division. So they are definitely making to make a drive, I guess. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Aries, they had their first loss, as I said, in over like 6 months. So yeah, pretty crazy. So yeah, they're 1-1. I'm not entirely sure what they're gonna do. If I had to predict their record with their current roster, it's not looking great. But as I always say, we'll see what happens. Rise, they lost another game. TL, same thing. It's really self-explanatory. They're both not doing great. The rosters are pretty iffy. Rise is just inactive in general. So yeah, they're probably both getting removed either at the end of the season or during the season, depending on who joins. There's a few other teams that might get removed due to certain things as well. But yeah, I mean, that's really it. It's been a fun week. Looking forward to seeing what happens next season. But yeah, that's really it. The reason I say I'm looking forward to next season is because this season is just sort of a sleeper. I mean, there's just been no good, like really good games. I'm sure that's gonna change. It's really early on in the season, but last season we barely had FS in the first 3 weeks, so we'll see what happens. I'm hoping that the season ends up going well. Next season, we have some huge plans. We are going to be introducing, inspired by the current Olympics, Tokyo Olympics, 2020 Tokyo Olympics, I should say. We might be doing a Shell Olympics sort of thing, but yeah, Shell Olympics. I believe it's been tried before, I wouldn't be surprised, but we actually are going to be using some players, and they're going to actually play against each other, and there's going to be some prizes, obviously. Wiz, if you're watching, you're most likely not. I wouldn't be surprised if you were. Yeah, I might DM you in 6 months about that, but I was hoping we could maybe get some items for that. That's more staff related. I'll just save it for later. But anyways, there's a lot I have planned. And I know I've gotten a lot of DMs because I always say like, oh, I got a lot planned, and I sort of have said it in the way that, no, most people don't want to hear it, in the sense that, oh, he's got a lot of things planned. That must mean he's going to end the league and he wants to end it with a bang. No, I want to sort of show Tide League as what it is, an awesome league. So many people think it's just a joke. It's not. We actually do put in a lot of effort. I put in a lot of effort. Our staff, we're trying to bring back things that Shell League hasn't brought back yet. There's going to be some tutorials on how to navigate the server and stuff like that coming up. I believe Shell League is doing their own version of that too. So yeah, we decided to make our own too. So thank you guys so much. It's been awesome, and I'll see you guys in the next one.